Sounds good. Thanks, Fish. Attorney General Brad Schimmel promising thousands of rape kits from unsolved cases will be tested by the end of the year. Schimmel inherited a backlog of more than 6,000 untested kits, but in 2015 started a process to have them tested. He's faced criticism saying the Department of Justice is moving too slowly. The agency chose not to test kits in cases where the victim wouldn't consent to analysis or there's already been a conviction. That narrowed the number to 4,100. 1,700 kits have been tested.
Studies show that by the time offenders are caught, they've often assaulted more than one person. Finding the offender's DNA may link that offender to other assaults and can have the power to bring justice for other victims.
Tests on 75 kits have resulted in a match with the FBI's database. 2 cases are being prosecuted. The state was given $7 million in federal money to speed up the testing process. The bomb squad investigating a suspicious package left in downtown Appleton turns out to be a false alarm. Police say someone told them about a briefcase left on the 400 block of Walnut Street around 11:30 yesterday morning. The Brown and Outagamie County bomb squad scanned the briefcase, discovering it was not a threat. Officers say they have to take every report like this seriously.
The reporting party indicated that they believed that the individual that had left it there, or who they thought left it there, was maybe acting suspiciously before, just kind of wandering in the area.
Sergeant Dave Lund says Appleton police are trying to track down the person who left the briefcase and why. He said based on the documents in the bag, it was probably someone who was recently in court. 2 fires in Kaukauna have the fire department putting out this reminder. Crews say the fires started at a duplex on West 7th Street and at the Trail Park Apartments on Saunders Road yesterday morning. A fire official says that in both cases, smokers either missed putting their butts in a plastic container or the cigarettes burned through the container and started the decks on fire.
There's a lot of lives that can be affected, especially into an apartment complex and or a duplex. There's other people other than you to think about, and make sure they discard the smoking materials correctly and safely.
He says smokers should put out their cigarettes in a glass of water and make sure they're completely out before throwing them away. No one was hurt in those fires. Now take a look at this scary video from the Menasha Police Department. Police say a squad car was nearly hit head-on by a suspected drunk driver. Officers were able to switch into reverse to avoid a crash. It happened around 2:15 Sunday morning at the corner of Appleton and 2nd Streets. A 29-year-old woman was arrested and faces an OWI charge. Menasha police posted the video with the reminder to never drink and drive. Senator Tammy Baldwin was in Kaukauna yesterday talking with law enforcement and first responders about Wisconsin's growing opioid problem. Baldwin was told that Narcan, the drug used to save lives in cases of overdoses, costs about 3 times more than it did just a couple of years ago.
One of the things you heard today is it would be much more helpful if communities had more flexibility. For example, if there's a methamphetamine crisis in one community and an opioid crisis in the other, let's let the funds be used for combating either one at the local community's discretion.
The State Department of Health estimates about 130 people died from using opioids back in 2001. In 2016, that number skyrocketed to more than 800 people. Now to an NBC 26 update. The sheriff's office has identified the man who drowned in Green Lake as 43-year-old Eugene Ware from Green Bay. Investigators say he was jet skiing on Saturday, then got tired while swimming and went underwater. He was not wearing a life jacket. 3 people were killed in an attack in the Belgian city of Liège. Officials say a man with a knife stabbed 2 female officers, stole their weapons, and shot them dead yesterday. The attacker, Benjamin Herman, shot and killed a 22-year-old man in the vehicle nearby a high school. According to the Associated Press, he held a woman hostage inside the school before being shot dead by police. Officials say Herman was an inmate who had been granted a few hours release Monday but never returned. It's believed he killed another person the night before. It's unknown at this time as to why he was allowed release. Officials say the killings are considered terroristic murder. It's still not official, but there are signs that the canceled North Korea nuclear summit may happen after all. The North Korean dictator's right-hand man is on his way to New York right now, making him the most senior official to visit the U.S. since 2000. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will meet with the former spy chief for talks today. The U.S. has 2 delegates in North Korea and Singapore trying to pull together the June 12th summit between Kim and Trump. ABC cancels hit show Roseanne after the actress posted a bigoted tweet. In a tweet Monday, Roseanne Barr suggested President Obama's former advisor Valerie Jarrett is the product of the, quote, Muslim Brotherhood and, quote, Planet of the Apes, end quote. That tweet has since been deleted. Barr tweeted an apology to Jarrett, calling it a bad joke that was in bad taste and asked for forgiveness. A statement from ABC Entertainment called the comments abhorrent and repugnant. Starbucks will reopen this morning with regular business hours. The company closed 8,000 stores yesterday for employee anti-bias training. It came after 2 black men were arrested at a Philadelphia Starbucks while waiting for a friend. Danger from Hawaii's volcanic eruption has now reached 4,000 miles away to the U.S. territory of Guam. Volcanic haze from Kilauea has stretched across the Pacific and is now threatening residents of the Marinara Islands. Guam's Homeland Security Office suggests residents with respiratory health problems to stay indoors. On Hawaii's Big Island, residents are told to be aware of sharp, thin strands of volcanic glass fibers. They call it pila hair after the Hawaiian goddess of fire, Pila. The fibers can cause injury to eyes and lungs if breathed in. So far, 71 homes have been swallowed by flowing lava. Archaeologists have discovered the skeleton of a man who survived a volcanic eruption only to be killed later by a falling rock. Scientists believe the 30-year-old man survived the Mount Vesuvius explosion, but was then crushed by a stone from a volcanic cloud. Officials say the man had a bone infection in his leg, which may have hindered his escape. Mount Vesuvius remains Europe's only active volcano.